Hi, Amber. Good to meet you. Glad you're on the show. I
Hi.
want to, I want to, I want to go back to that clip, the
Hmm.
situation in the parking lot.
What does being a Trump supporter mean? Because I just drove into a parking lot because I'm going into a store. Drove into a parking lot. This older white man with a Trump hat on decides before I can drive into the parking lot, I'm in the driveway, decides he's gonna jump in front of my fucking car, take his Trump hat off, use it as some kind of badge telling me that I needed to stop. Like he was like, stop pointing at the Trump supporter part of his hat. And when I was like, whatever, move along, like get from the front of my car so I can go and do what I have to do, this motherfucker spit on my car. In 2020, he saw a black woman, decided that he was going to try and punk me, and the motherfucker spit on my car.
What was your like? Did you, in that moment? Because we see a lot of these moments. Did you freeze? Did you immediately get angry? Were you confused? Like what stopped you from running him over? Or just in the moment you was just disbelief?
To be honest, I had already, when I made that video, I had been simmering for about an hour. People think that it happened right then and there. It didn't. I tried to, do what black people try to do, which is shake it off, you know what I'm saying, and move forward. But I'm under, like, I have a right to be angry. I have a right to be upset about that. Maybe I shouldn't have shared it on social media, but I was pissed. I was so mad, and I needed people to see, because it's not even so much about Trump and the Trump reporter. It's a bigger picture about what it's like to move as a black person in America. In this area that I live in, that is not the first time that I've run into a Trump supporter or someone that is racist. That wasn't the first time. That's the first time I've said something about it publicly. Earlier that day, my friend Francia, that's on Grownish, I was on FaceTime with that girl when she was boxed in during the Trump rally on the 405 freeway out here in LA. So I actually saw what happened. And we live 5 minutes away from each other. So it was happening just in our area. I immediately tried to shake it off. I ended up calling my sister. I ended up calling my bros, and I was like, listen, if I go into the store and I see this man, I'm a wild out. And that's not going to, they kind of calmed me down. Like my bros was like, we'll just come up there. Because, we'll go to jail for you, but we don't want you to go to jail. And that's how the black men show up for me in my life. Like it's nothing but a phone call. But honestly, it's not worth going to jail. It's not. It wouldn't even accomplish anything except for a little bit of satisfaction of whooping his ass like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the tightrope that black people walk, right? That a lot of folk can't even understand. Like you may be Amber Riley, famous, award-winning, star of this and this and that, got music out, got money, but you're still black in America. And we also, are always warm. Which means, somebody could catch these hands, if it's the wrong situation, and then you look crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you have too much to lose, Amber Riley, but they don't know what the pressure is of that. And then the release of actually giving somebody what you would like to give them. I'm not condoning violence. I'm just saying that it's always there at the forefront.
Yeah.
And it's a tightrope that black people have to, the restraint that we show.
Yeah, right. And it's unfortunate because they take that inaction for granted a lot of times, and they'll keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
It's a dance for sure, because it's like, how far do you expect to be able to push people? I ain't got that many more cheeks to turn. I've been turning cheeks for a while, and I've lived in my area for a while. You know what I'm saying? And I do not condone unnecessary violence, but if it's necessary and you have to defend yourself or your family, you do what you got to do, because essentially you can't people have to know that there are consequences. And unfortunately, for Black people, calling the police isn't always an option. You know what I'm saying? We're not always comfortable calling the police. And that's why I even was talking to my bros, like, I don't want y'all to go to jail. There's too much going on right now. There's nobody, as a Black person, you don't get the luxury of explaining to an officer what's happening.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? They show up and they do what they do.
I don't know if you watched Lovecraft. We're talking about Amber Riley, but there was a scene, one of the last scenes with Dee and her reaction. And my initial response was like, oh, but then I was like, yeah, okay. She probably handled that absolutely correctly. Just gonna say it.